welcome back everyone to the Spyro Reignite Trilogy Speedrun Celebration. Hope you all enjoyed Green's run of Spyro 1, 120%. Next up we have Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, 100%, done by Zic3, and the commentary is going to be done by Randy Bobandi. Obviously Spyro 2, 100%, you know, is quite a big shift from Spyro 1, so hopefully you'll be up to something that's going to be a little bit different then. So, Zic and Randy, I'm going to leave it to you two lads then to carry on with your run. Best of luck, and I'll see you both later. Ready?
Thank you very much, Nost. All right, I'm going to get started, and then we got plenty of time. We can introduce ourselves when we get started. So here we go. Starting some Spyro 2, 100% in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Zic, and I am joined here on commentary by my good friend Randy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Randy Bobandi, but otherwise known as Randy Randers, Randall Keith Bobandle. Classic names.
So, we just saw an absolutely incredible Spyro 1 120% run by Green. Seriously, GG's to him. That run was like amazing. And so now we're going to do some 100% in Spyro 2. Now, one thing you're going to notice different from Spyro 1 is Spyro 1 120% you do very linear, where he's clearing the levels as he progresses through the game. Get to a level, get all the gems, get all the dragons, move on. We're going to do things a little differently here. If you're familiar with OG, Spyro 2 100% runs, you know that there's kind of a routing feature known as early Ripto. We're going to kind of copy that, and we're going to just make a beeline for Ripto as quickly as we can. So I may miss a few things here and there. We'll come back for them. Now, as you'll notice, another one of the things in Spyro 2 is we don't start in a homeworld, we start in a level, which is Glimmer. So we're just going to power through Glimmer, get the talisman, and end up out here in Summer Forest, where I'm going to grab a few of the gems and stuff. That sheep's going to stop me from getting a gem. And we're going to head on in here to Colossus. So Randy, would you say Colossus has two of the greatest orbs this game has to offer?
I believe so. I think they're probably two of the best and most consistent orbs in the run that is available to us early.
So we need to get this over with at some point. So I'm gonna go get the talisman, and then we're gonna go play a little hockey. That's what we're gonna do. The hockey orbs, they can be a little frustrating. the angles in which like you get the pucks is very random. So we're gonna kind of have to just we're gonna have to work with what we've got and improvise on the fly. So here's our second talisman of the run, Colossus. It's kind of nice as we have in the home worlds, we kind of have the freedom to get whichever talismans we want in whatever order, up to, you know, in Summer Forest, the 6 talismans, and then we'll have to fight Crush. So in a lot of runs, you'll see runners go to like Idle Springs first, but in Hundo, we're going to go to Colossus first. We're gonna get hockey out of the way. Now, if you're doing 100% runs, normally this is where they all die. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, goalie's gonna hit that. I'm gonna miss that. That's fine. Sometimes you can get them to come out at an angle in which you can get like quick goals where I can just snag the puck right away. Let's see if I get one. This isn't one of those. And sometimes you have to wait for it to go to the goalie and him pass it on down the ice. I didn't know who was getting that one. All right, here it's gonna be one of those quick goals. I can just snag it and shoot it. Every now and then. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, the game will just toss the puck into the goal. It's very rare, but you can have that sometimes. What's really neat about the routing for 100% in Spyro 2 is, like I said, we're going to try and get to Ripto as quickly as we can. So we're going to kind of bypass a lot of the, like... Spyro 2 has a lot of, like, orb requirements, kind of like how the balloonists work. I think I'm missing that. That's fine. Kind of like how the balloonists are gatekeepers of Spyro 1. Spyro 2 has, like, orb requirements where it's like, oh, you need 8 orbs to continue. And we're gonna bypass all those. I got literally scammed on that first puck.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Oh, this puck has so much speed. I can't get it.
Yeah. So yeah, going to that like orb requirement thing, one of the biggest orb requirements is obviously getting to the final boss, which is you need 40 orbs. And we do not collect 40 orbs before the final boss, but we can discuss why we don't do that later. But yeah.
If you stay tuned later today, though, for our relay race, you will see 3 runners collect 40 orbs. So after we get those hockey orbs, we're just gonna exit level, and we'll come back for the rest of the gems and stuff later. And you'll see why later we're gonna do a lot of this backtracking. It might not make sense now, but it'll make sense later. All right, so the next level we're gonna travel over here to is Idle Springs. Before that, though, we're going to meet the main villain of Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage right now. Here he is in all his glory. This is the main villain of probably the entire Spyro series. He was probably behind Nasty Nork. He probably funded the Sorceress.
Oh, he absolutely does.
But Hunter is going to teach us to fly because he knows best. How could I argue with that? And then we'll get an orb because Hunter brings us to his world to save Avalar. And to save Avalar, we need the orbs. And he's just pocketing a whole bunch of them. And he won't give them to us until we do ridiculous tasks. I went over there to get gems and that bug, and I came out with none of it. So Randy, you'd think in like any percent and 40 orb, we have like fodder strats where you try and like count your fodder and whatnot. Yeah. And you'd think in 100% we've got all the time in the world. Now I have absolutely no fodder strats for this route. I usually end up under every single time.
Yeah, it seems very easy just because you have to do so much more of the levels, so it's easier to kind of not count your fodder properly, I guess.
Yeah, and it's tough
to just
like
miss stuff like that.
Yeah, and like you don't have as much downtime because you have to collect so many gems.
Because as Zic was saying, like any percent wise, you go into Fresh, which is the first boss, having collected 7 fodder, so you will get a blue fodder in that fight to kind of reset your health and be able to tank all of his hits. But when you're doing 100%, you have to constantly be collecting gems, or else you're probably wasting time, or you know, running to get an orb or something. Like there's less downtime of that because obviously any percent needs way less gems.
If you do climbless any percent, you need almost no gems.
It's true. If you do climbless, you need 1,200. And this game has 10,000.
And the patience of a saint. So we're gonna buy our first power up of the game. Spyro 2 introduces what? Wait. How am I 15 gems under?
Uh-oh. Oh, you missed the ones in the below area.
Yup. I'm already killing it right now. I was like, how did that happen? I will make Green's Run look like the greatest thing on the planet, because this is gonna be a train wreck. So now we have this one power-up. Spyro 2 introduces these power-ups, which you purchase for gems from our good friend Moneybags. We're gonna need to buy 3 throughout the run, which is Swim, Climb, and Head Bash. So here is our first one, Swim, which allows us to get to the next area of Summer Forest and get to the other levels. So there's 3 more levels in this half of Summer Forest. So we'll start here in Hurricos. Hurricos is gonna be a pretty quick level. A lot of these are pretty quick, actually. This part of the run is very similar to the any percent portion, where we're just going to do these perfect hovers to get up onto these ledges, utilize this little pusher, hopefully, yep, to get out of bounds, and come over here to this glide orb really quickly. So I guess I really didn't even talk about how Spyro 2 introduces the hover mechanic. That's new. Basically, when you're in a flight or glide for long enough, when you're in the air for long enough, technically, you can press the triangle button and get a little burst of air, which is the hover. If you do it just right, we call them perfect hovers because you're getting the maximum height possible out of them. And you're going to see perfect hovering come into play a lot to get to a lot of areas you might not normally supposed to be able to get to.
Just something I'd like to mention there. To get to that Taliesin room, you're supposed to get this, like, I think it's called a diode. And you're supposed to, you know, put it into the wall, and then the electricity wall goes away. But if you just put the camera at a certain angle, it just disappears and you can just walk through.
Sometimes you kind of take those things for granted. Where you're like, oh, I'm going to talk about that real quick. I'm like, crap, that is a trick, right? Just doing it for so long, it feels like that's intended. Prince Tortoise, I don't want to speak to you. I'm sure your needs are dire. So you'll see here and there, Spark sometimes likes to slack off and not pick up gems. We might have to compensate here and there for Sparks' laziness. So
those guys' hitbox is great.
Oh, I hate those. Are one of the worst enemies in this game. So Randy, do you want to kind of talk about this trick and what it does for Spyro 2?
Yeah, so there's these turtles, they'll walk, you can flame them, then they'll start walking, but they'll always return to their home position. So if you get the turtle to walk kind of like parallel to this wall, and then you stand in its way, it can just push you through the wall because it's occupying that space, and the game is like, well, if Spyro and that is occupying that space, we're gonna push Spyro through that. So then you can skip the entirety of what you have to do in this level, which is flame a bunch of turtles to get them to stand on a pressure plate, to get them to open a gate, and get all the baby turtles back to where they are. But we can just not do any of that right now.
Yeah, it's really nice. That trick was found by EasyScape. It's part of the swimless route that any % uses to literally function as a category. So a cool thing, or I guess cool if you like them, not cool if you don't like them, 100% is we get to do the speedways. So welcome to our first speedway of the run, Ocean Speedway, probably the worst speedway. I'm gonna probably focus here for a second to hopefully make these cycles. So if there's anything you want to talk about speedways, Randy, have at it.
Speedways are difficult because they're in less of like a, I don't want to call Spyro ones like linear, but they're kind of more set on a path. Some of them aren't, but Spyro 2's, there's like an insane amount of kind of cycles you have to get, especially with this one because of the guys riding the tractors, or whatever they are. Speedway is also a main difference between this one and Spyro 1, is that you have supercharge instead of normal charge, so you can run a lot faster. flying close to the, as Nos said, flying close to the water gets you extra speed. And also, speedways don't just have the speedway in them anymore. They now have an orb that you have to do.
I don't think there's a single orb challenge in Spyro 2 in the speedways I like.
Probably
So
not.
they involve hunters, so that's pretty much a given that they're bad.
I guess like the only like not horrendous one is like the one in Canyon. It's,
Yeah,
like,
that one's not bad. It's
no.
more just an auto scroll. You just mash circle until you're done.
Yeah. So for this orb challenge, you're supposed to sort of like follow Hunter, and he's gonna go through these rings, turn them green, and you have to like go through them in the order that he goes through them in. But you can just collect them all without him going through them. So we have this route where we can get them all before we kind of lose the challenge. And the way you lose the challenge is by once Hunter goes through an orb, or a ring rather, it starts to shrink and it'll disappear. So if you let it disappear, you fail the mission. But with this route, we can just get them all before Hunter goes through most of them.
Hunter loses a race he never knew he was even in.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, actually. I'm happy with that.
Nally, if you don't like Gulp, then it's fine in 100. It's only Gulp is only bad in 40 orb.
Alright, that's one speedway down. Mainly Ocean and Icy are the ones that worry me.
Yeah, those
So
ones are
one-
pretty weird.
Yeah. We have one more level here in Summer Forest. We're gonna do Aquaria Towers. This one's a pretty good level, because we're gonna not do anything the way it should be done. We need to save these seahorses from like dehydrating, and we're gonna do just not that. Let's get the gem. All right, so we're gonna turn on one level of water. This is all the water these guys are gonna get. And then we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna use the archway on this number 4 gate. Right at the crest of it, there's like a lingering hitbox you can stand on. And so I can just come up here and talk to this guy, and he's gonna say our world is wet again, and it's absolutely not, and we're just gonna leave these guys like this. So a difference you might notice between this run and the run you just watched from Green is that Spyro 2 is played in 30 FPS, whereas Green was playing in 50 FPS on Spyro 1. That is mainly because jumping, Nos kind of went over it during the Spyro 1 run, but in case you weren't here for that, jumping is kind of tied to your frame rate. So the lower your frame rate, the higher Spyro will jump. So if you play on like 5 FPS, you can soar. But we set it to 30 as the lowest for runs. So you can hit a lot of jumps and hovers a lot easier on 30 FPS for Spyro 2 rather than 50 or 60 or above. So this is Crush.
Sheep.
So I got, yeah, do you want to talk about it since I actually got it?
Yeah, so in the Crush fight, whenever you take damage, a certain amount of sheep will fall down, and basically what we were saying earlier about wanting 7 sheep going in is that you'll always get 3. You'll always get at least 3. So if you get after you take the first hit, a certain amount will drop down. So if you get 3, that's all you get. You only get 3. But if you end up with 2, or it's very rare, but I've gotten like 1 before on the first hit, you'll get, hopefully you'll get more than 3, so you can end up with anywhere from 3 to like 8 sheep, which obviously then you can just take all of his hits. because otherwise he'll do 3 attacks, you have to avoid them, and then he'll run. So yeah. What we hope for with like any percent is I get 7 like specific. Also, shoutouts to the Dumper, any Branso wagons in the chat.
That one was for you, Randy.
We basically want to just take all of Crush's hits, which we did, and live.
I weighed the advantages of refilling my sparks or going behind Crush, and Crush won that one.
Yeah, there's two fodder here you can get, so we can always get the Dumper.
So here we are. We're in Autumn Plains now. This is where we're gonna get the rest of our talismans. These levels are gonna go by pretty quickly. We're just gonna 1, 2, 3 get through them all. We're gonna get the gulp as quick as we can, barring a few levels, not to mention them out loud, Zephyr. But here in Crystal Glacier, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of these starting gems so I don't have to get these later. And then normally you're supposed to unfreeze the like builder caveman guys, but we can just do that and just bypass them completely. Sorry guys, they have to live in that ice block for the rest of their lives. Now this is the only category that actually pays money bags for this bridge, which is kind of a shame because this is a pretty sweet bridge. That's worth 200 gems. I always like to say, like, Moneybags' little economy system makes no sense. That, like, living dragon snake bridge, 200 gems. Crystal Glacier, you get, like, a brick, and it's, like, 1,000 gems.
Crystal Islands, rather.
What did I say?
You said Crystal Glacier for both. Yeah, there's a bridge in Crystal Islands that is 1,000 gems. That's like the stupidest bridge, and should not be worth 1,000 gems.
But yeah, you can also buy in Spyro 3 a real life kangaroo for 300 gems. I just don't understand this pricing system.
And a penguin for 700. So Sheila and Sergeant Bird cost the same amount as a bad bridge.
Infrastructure in Spyro is expensive, man.
True.
So here's our second speedway, Metro Speedway. Again, I'm probably going to focus on all the speedways.
Speedways have a lot of kind of precise movement, especially this one. You're kind of hoping for around like a 51 second here. And these speedways we do kind of very much out of order, bar like these walruses you get right in a row because they are, but... You can hit that pigeon there early if you run on the left side of that ramp, like if you just charge and hold charge off of it.
All right, there we go. You get the Spyro 2, and especially I think the Spyro 2 speedways look very impressive, mainly because you do a lot. They're very like tight-knit speedways, but you also have the supercharge.
Yeah.
Whereas like Spyro 3, you have the supercharge, but I feel like they're much more spacious speedways. So here's another Hunter game for an orb, because Hunter just can't give us the orbs to save his world. So I just have to follow him around and get money to help the mayor get elected. Because we're, like, I guess scamming an election right now. Because Hunter is the villain. You can kind of speed Hunter up by getting real close to him like this. So you see I'm using the supercharge to gain a lot of speed because I'm trying to get close to Hunter. I think you can kind of speed him up a little bit, but you don't want to get too close to him because you need to wait for these money bags. Just 2 more stacks of gems that we don't get to keep. I don't know. I'd vote for this guy.
He does have a good mustache.
That he
And a
does.
nice top hat.
Can already see people say it's not 100% wrong because we're not getting all the skill points, and you are right. Just go for all skill points.
I don't even know what you have to do. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to do it 2 gulp in this one, but imagine like 40 orb all skill points or something.
Absolutely disgusting. So this is Skella's Badlands. Don't get too attached to Skella's Badlands. We're just gonna do a little wall glide right there, which we can talk about here in a second, and just get the talisman and leave. So now that I just said that out loud, we probably should kind of mention wall glides.
Yeah,
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so wall glides, when you go on a wall that is kind of slanted, when you're on the PC version, if you tap into the wall a little bit, you can gain a lot of height and kind of make jumps using the hover, because we can get a bunch of height with that. Yeah, you can use walls to gain a lot of height. You see that one in Skelos. You do one in Scorch, I think. I'm trying to think of any other.
One score.
Yeah, you use them to gain a lot of height to kind of get to ledges that we're not really supposed to get to. You're supposed to run around and, you know, jump around some lava, but we'd rather just run.
So this is Breeze Harbor. This is part 1 of the literal war going on in the Spyro world. Breeze Harbor is a little weird because of stuff kind of like this jump, which I just messed up, where you just kind of use a weird lingering hitbox on that window to get a second jump, and we can get up on the trolley track and just make our way to the end of the level. Hopefully
Unfortunately, we can't just go and collect the things on the trolley, like the gears. We actually will have to do that mini game later, but
that'd be pretty sweet.
you can
Especially if you come back. If you could come back like the second time around on the revisit and just plow through that track without the trolley, that'd be pretty awesome. All right, there's Breeze Harbor. Not so bad. As I said, some of these Autumn Plains levels are going to go by real quickly. But now we are at a point where we can't progress any further without purchasing the climb power-up for Moneybag. So now we're going to spend 500 gems to get taught how to climb.
I mean, if you want to progress further without climb, you probably could, but if you want to go insane trying to do Spyro 2 or Spyro 200% without climb, you can go right ahead.
That would be a miserable experience. Climbeless, swimless, sparksless, 100%. All skill points.
Head bashless win.
Can grab a few gems and hop on here to Scorch. This is the worst level in like the entire trilogy of the original 3 Spyro games. This level sucks. I have nothing good to say about this level.
The first visit isn't too bad, because the first visit you just do the any percent route.
I still have to be in here though.
That's true. This level just is. It sucks for kind of speedrunning because there's a lot of slow orbs.
The orbs just suck. Like even like casually, it's like these orbs suck.
So here's another wall glide that we're gonna try to get up here. Kind of get to this ledge a bit faster. Press this last button. Because that's also supposed to move through the level. Is you're supposed to hit those buttons with flame to raise the flags to lower bridges or open doors, but that's slow.
I like to grab those red gems there right before getting the talisman, because once the home portal appears there, I find it much like we're gonna revisit later. I don't even want to mess around trying to get those red gems at the home portal so close right there. One of them doesn't home in very well because Sparks is he's pick and choosy with his gems. He likes certain gems and doesn't like other gems. So Fracture Hills is a level. We're gonna do Fracture Hills. We're gonna get the talisman the normal way. Dude, there's no way we know of at the moment to like cheese this talisman, because there is a humongous box, this huge collider box that surrounds the castle here where the talisman is held. So there's like no way in there. I don't remember if you put yourself in there if you get the talisman. There's some levels that you can get the talisman without doing the requirement. Like, I'm forgetting one right off the bat, but like levels like Crystal Glacier, the talisman person literally, if you were to somehow put yourself in the room where you get the talisman without freeing the frozen caveman guys, he just will not give you the talisman. He does not know what to do. Grab a few of these gems. Just some of these loose, like 1 and 2 gems, kind of can be annoying to leave lying about. Oh, those rocks were coming for me.
And you're gonna get thrown out of the world like I did.
It looked close.
So yeah, there's a very rare glitch in this level. I've gotten it once in my 2,000 attempts of running Sphere 20%, and the rocks, I guess, have a hitbox when they're kind of broken off, and I got flung out of the world. So that can always happen, but very rare.
So we're gonna get our talisman and just leave. We'll do the rest later. I know that level, if you've played Spyro 2, you know all about that level's good alchemist orb. Luckily, we're gonna make it much easier. Yeah, no, there is a clip of it somewhere. It's one of my favorite clips. It's so great. So here's one of those orb requirements. We would need to talk to Professor, and he'd be like, oh, you need 8 orbs to continue. Or we could just like jump over that retaining wall there and use a hover to just go around the professor and his door and get on here, moving on to Magma Cone. Magma Cone's a little wild. We're gonna get out of bounds in here because I don't want to pay money bags for his elevator, even though it's only 100 gems and it's not that bad of a deal. It's still a little slow. So what we can do is we can climb this volcano and then fly all the way to this retaining wall. And that lets us get out of bounds. So we can fly here to the bottom of the elevator shaft and just move on with Magma Cone. This is just a really quick way to get to the talisman, which is our goal right now, just getting talismans.
That's kind of the goal right now, is just get those 14 talismans to fight, so we can fight Gulp and then hopefully fight Ripto, because we're gonna fight Ripto a bit earlier than normal. It's kind of the same way that like OG does Spyro 2 100%, although they get to Ripto a lot quicker because they can clip into both bosses early. I mean, I guess all
Someone
bosses
please
early.
find Gulp Skip.
True. We just have to get Crush Storage to work.
I will offer a firm handshake for a gulp skip.
Someone get from Glimmer to Ocean Speedway blind, please, with no map, just to see if crush storage may be possible on PC. I'll give you 20 bucks. I don't know.
Ooh,
Probably.
$20. I was just gonna give a pat on the back, but
Even 20 US dollars, not even 20 Canadian. So I'm giving you like, if I give you 20 US dollars, it's like 8,000 Canadian or something.
so Randy, what do you? How do you feel about Shady Oasis?
I dislike this level a lot. I don't mind like the second parts of it, but getting the talisman is pretty rough because Shorty is this hippo that has to break down the doors for you, and she walks very slow for one, and she has a lot of checkpoints where you have to be very close beside her to get her to actually walk. So you can't just like run through it. You have to constantly be slowing down to be like, all right, Shorty, come on, we can walk.
One foot in front of the other. Also, yeah, your fun fact if you didn't know that Shorty the Hippo is a female.
Yep.
I did not know for a very long time.
At least though, with like Shorty going slow, you can pick up a decent amount of gems in the level here, so you don't really have, like, you do come back here in these areas, but you don't have to re-get all the gems.
Oh, okay. That's another annoying feature of Shorty. When she's in her big mode, she can just run you over. All right, we have one more talisman to get, but we're gonna detour before that wonderful experience. We're all gonna have a great time. We're gonna go do Icy Speedway first because I need to get both speedways done before I get to Gulp, or else we're gonna have a bad time.
Have
I
fun
believe
with Ring 38.
I hate that stupid ring game. It's set up specifically so you can fail. Also forgot a 5 gem here in practice yesterday, so we're making sure I get that.
Nice.
Oh, I see that red gem. You can't get away from me.
You missed.
Yeah, luckily, because you have to come all the way up here for all these gems. Luckily, you can just charge off the side here, and Icy Speedway is right here. Pretty convenient. 100 gems for a whole level.
Oh, also the problem also with Shady is you have to pay 400 gems for it. You have to pay 400 gems for an auto scroller that doesn't auto scroll.
This is probably my worst speedway level. Yeah, that blows my mind. Like, you have to purchase one of the worst levels in the game. Alright, we're gonna take out those guys on the snowmobiles, then we'll take out these guys which are stranded in the air for all eternity. We're gonna put them out of their misery. This section is a little chaotic, getting the sea monsters and the gates at the same time. It may look kind of slow because I'm stopping to kind of like drop down and get them, but it's just really quick to just get them both done at the same time like that. And then we just finish up right here at the end, and that's as good of an Icy Speedway as you're gonna get. It's under a minute. I'm happy with that. So now, like, this is an orb challenge. Gryffindor Hunter here has a horrible idea. So you basically, rings will spawn on the right, the middle, or the left, and you just have to fly between them. Somewhere around the mid-30s, they get kind of unfair. So I'm gonna hope I don't miss a ring. Alright, here's the spot I don't like. So you gotta go left to mid, all the way to right in a short period of time. We got it, we're good.
Ring 38 is a really tough one to get, and is a lot of the kind of source for like missing or resetting.
It's my worst enemy. So I'm gonna warp the Metro Speedway here. Solely, this is basically just a fast travel. I just want to get to, because Zephyr is the last level we have to do. Which we kind of skipped because it costs 400 gems, and it's just a pretty good segue into the, you know, go to Metro, pop out right here, Zephyr. I'm gonna grab a few extra gems because we got to get them all anyways, and we'll do some Zephyr. Oh, you see, Shia, Hunter is a part of the ring game, so it all just ties together. So it's time for the best orbs that this game absolutely does have to offer. We're gonna herd some cowlicks. These things are the worst.
They are.
I'm gonna grab a few gems first. We're gonna get, before we even talk about Calyx, we're coming up on my favorite NPC in the game. Shoutouts to Corporal Glug, this legendary soldier wearing a colander on his head. I want to grow up to be just like him.
So another big difference between 100% and Spire 20% is that Spire 20% you can actually get into the talisman room without breaking any of the TNT and like exploding the door. But for Spire 200%, you can get one of the baskets without, like, you can clip through the TNT, but you can't get the other one, so you have to break it open. But at least now we get to see Corporal Glug in all his glory.
Yeah, you'll get to see that TNT room strat later today in the 40 orb race in the relay. They will also be using that idea of not breaking him out. So now it's time. We need to herd all these little guys into their pen, and they just do not behave. All right, that guy's stuck there for life, I guess. The Calyx in Spire Reignited work a little differently from OG, whereas, like, I don't know, they're just a little more manageable in OG, whereas these guys, they have like limits. All right, like, they can go up certain ledges. They're not allowed to go up certain ledges. You have to know where they can and can't go. You can't just like yeet them in certain directions. They like almost set like, oh, the Calyx have to go on this path. This dude is living in this wall. Okay, there we go. So they kind of like gave them like triggers and like, oh, it has to hit this spot. It has to, you know, go this way. This is also a ladder, by the way.
Also, another issue with one of those two first Calyx there, they can just sometimes go out of bounds. That happened to me when I did a 100 run like 2 weeks ago. I had to re-enter the level because one of the Calyx had just walked out of bounds, which was great.
I didn't actually know they could just go out of bounds like that. Come on. I like to put this guy, yeah, I like to put that guy in the hole because you can sometimes get in the way of the, when I'm trying to get this second guy over the gap, who's also becoming one with a wall. There we go. So we're doing this now because this orb is going to get significantly, more difficult after we beat Ripto, once we have some of the stuff we're going. Wait, why? Hang on, he's gonna do a thing. There he goes. There's like a trigger these guys have to hit here to like clear this gap. The game, like, as soon as it hits that trigger, will put the cowlick over the gap. Sometimes like the trigger doesn't trigger. If you just kind of hit them close to it again, they'll fly up there no matter where they came from. This is one of those spots, the cows can't go up that ledge, so I need to hit them like around. Unfortunately, I can't just charge at them and force them up certain ledges. I have to kind of take them up this staircase. This is our life now. Oh, he got up there. Nice, just barely. This is our life now, herding cattle. No, don't you. Okay. That guy was going back down.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is you can put them up, or you can't put them up, but they can fall down that ledge. Which is always nice when that happens.
This is a one-way train. We're not going back. Where did that guy go? Holy crap. These guys are going on a journey. It's fine. There we go. We have herded 5 of our cattle. Now there's 2 more. You can kind of see them in the background. One's becoming one with the earth back there. We got to get those 2 in for the other orb, and then we can be free of this. All right, time to get out of the ground, buddy. Well, you see, Nas, they have the same eyes as Jack from Spyro 3.
God.
I'll let you just kind of take that and roll with it how you will. The beanstalk guy. All right, so it is time for 100% to really take off. This is why we've been getting to this point how we have. Randy, if you want to start talking about level storage, we've got all the time in the world.
So, level storage. Do you ever want to have the ability to fly and supercharge in the actual game and not just in speedways? Well, let me tell you how to get it. We're going to jump down Gulp's Overlook. And we're going to pause on the first frame of entering so you see the Gulp's Overlook thing loaded. But we're actually not going to do that right now because we have to do something first. In 100%, you actually have to you have to load Gulp once so you can warp to it.
I almost went for it.
I know, I saw. But yeah, so level storage works where you pause on the first frame of entering the, like, his kind of trigger to load the level. So it says Gulp's Overlook at the bottom, but you're still in Autumn Plains. So what happens is that the game thinks you're still in Autumn Plains, but also thinks you're in the Gulp fight. So it'll play the cutscene of Gulp, but it'll load in the background of the game a speedway. It either, like, a speedway of the homeworld. So it's either gonna load Icy Speedway or it's gonna load Metro Speedway. For 100%, it doesn't matter because we've already cleared both of them. For any percent, you want Metro because that's the one you do. So Zic got orange. So he's gonna... That's Icy Speedway. So during the background of the cutscene, he's gonna land and then move back into the portal, which you saw the little saving icon go, and then he's gonna pause, quit, retry, and then spam skip cutscene. And then what that'll do is it'll retry the speedway, but we'll still be in Gulp. So we're gonna be normal Spyro right now. And then we're gonna have to take an intentional death.
This is gonna kind of tie those 2 Spyros we had together.
So then also the reason why we had to load the Gulp's Overlook once is that we're technically fighting Gulp, but we're not in Gulp. So if you beat them, you'll advance to Winter Tundra, but you'll still have 0% done on Gulp. So you have to warp to Gulp. But now we have Supercharge and Flight. Are we getting the skill point? Oh, didn't get the Ripto skill point. But yeah, so now we have that Flight and have the Supercharge for the rest of the game until you close it or until you load the stored speedway again. So I guess now we can talk about another trick, which is height cap. So you saw if you were watching Green's run of 120, he did a height cap to get into, or to kill like a plane early in Nasty's loot, which allowed him to fly wherever. In this one, we use a height cap to get around the wall around Ripto and get into Ripto without opening his door. Or getting 40 orbs. Like I don't know how many orbs we have, maybe 10? Less than 10? But normally need 40, but we don't need any. And also having level storage makes this Ripto fight slightly easier for the first phase because you have Supercharge. So for the first phase, you want to collect 2 orbs because your orb count will carry over to the second phase. So now you'll have 2 orbs, but because of the cutscene and the way this game works, we lose Supercharge and Superflight. Normally when a cutscene plays, you just lose Flight. I think Zic is gonna try to wait for he's gonna wait for a blue orb, and he got one. You can one cycle Ripto phase 2 with a blue orb.
Not gonna get it. Dang it. I messed up my charges.
Close. So yeah, you can. Gulp has this thing, or Mecha Gulp, where when he's still getting up, you can hit him, but it won't put him in his like hit animation, so you can get double hits, and you can get all 8 hits in one blue orb. You can get 7 hits with a green orb, and you can get 5 with a red orb. So blue is best for that one. And then now we have Flight and Fireball for this last phase. And there's kind of a pattern that he goes, and if you get it well, you can kind of do the first 6 hits of it well. Or like get him kind of in his second phase of the last phase, I guess, where he flies around the arena.
That was a pretty good phase 3, I'm not gonna lie.
That was actually a really good phase 3. So that's Spyro 2 any percent.
With
And now
Calyx.
with Calyx. And now we get to the fun part. So
now we can hold.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, I was gonna say now we can use that infinite flight that we have from the Icy Speedway to fly under the level of Dragon Shores into the Fireball portal. So now I can have infinite Fireball for the remainder of the run. So now I have Supercharge, Superfly, and Fireball. This is why the backtracking is super good now. 'Cause the game you know and love is dead. This is where we are now.
So yeah, you're normally only supposed to get that Fireball once you've reached 100%, and then you can go back and like replay the game with it, and it's kind of like your reward. But we want it early, so.
Yeah, so this level storage movement, as we call it, is a very different style of movement. It takes some getting used to because it's nothing like normal Spyro movement. You know, Supercharge doesn't stop right when you let go of charge. It like halts for a second. If you supercharge off a ledge, Spyro will keep supercharging indefinitely until you touch ground. There's a lot you have to get used to with how Spyro moves with this. This is another one of my favorite NPCs. Wearing this sweet pink outfit.
Let's go, Farmer John.
This whole level, just NPCs. We have Farmer John, we have a red gem at the top I missed. We have my fields.
So I guess something important that we should mention with level storage movement is that obviously we have this the Superfly and Supercharge, but since we've talked to someone, or like, so when you talk to someone, play a cutscene, that isn't the like level cutscene, rather, I should say that, or
Touch a whirlwind.
Touch a Whirlwind, yeah. I was trying to remember the one that I didn't say. Then you'll lose Fly, but you'll still have Charge.
So it makes doing orbs like this pretty trivial, which I missed one of the bugs. I'm also dead.
Classic.
Classic. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I guess we should. So, sorry, it's just like I'm so used to not saying anything about that. So Sparks isn't there, but he is. So Sparks isn't there. Did you? Okay.
That was, yeah.
I wasn't sure if you could get out from there. So Sparks, he's not there, but he still is. And he's not there because when you do level storage, obviously we have that stored speedway, and Spyro doesn't have Sparks in his speedway level. So he's still there, and he'll still collect gems and still be like your health, but he's just invisible. And he's invisible and everything. I think he's there in Homeworld sometimes. Sparks invisible is kind of weird. He still works, but yeah.
Yeah, it can be kind of annoying because, you know, in Spyro Reignited, all the games have the Sparks radar where you can click in the analog stick and Sparks will point you to missing gems, which is really nice in full completion categories. To, if you've forgotten, like, oh, I forgot one red gem, Sparks will be like, hey, it's over there, man. In this, we don't have that luxury. So if I miss a gem, we have to go on an adventure.
The like
taking
best you can do is try to listen for like audio cues of where Sparks might be pointing, but it's really difficult because obviously you don't even get like to know whether it's higher or lower than you. Like, you kind of just have to guess.
Alright, so if everything went correctly, we should have all our gems when we make it loop back here to the beginning of the level. Oh, that's a decent sign.
Let's go. So the like way to deal with it, obviously not having Sparks, is if you quit the game and re-enter the level. So if you do quit game and then continue, you'll get the fly ability back since you haven't talked to anyone, and you would just have to fly around at the top of the level and just like look for something sparkly.
Which goes into my sweet pro strats, which is I have the foliage levels turned on low as they can go, so there's like no grass, because I was tired of missing 2 gems in the grass.
Also, something just interesting to kind of note, if you enter Ripto with level storage, the door doesn't actually open ever, and then you can't open it after because Alora's gone because you've beaten Ripto. So the door will not be able to open.
So yeah, you might have seen when I went into Ripto, I did a little detour right before I went in to grab some gems, because there are actually a few gems on the other side of that door. And so if you do Ripto, but you don't get those gems, you have to like re-height cap into that Ripto corridor to get those last gems. So I'm gonna load Canyon Speedway here, and then we're going to leave. I'm just gonna use that as a fast travel later. But I'm just gonna unlock it now so I can use that guidebook feature we have. to get me back there easily. And now it's time for a level.
Probably the best level ever made.
We're gonna go on a journey here in Mystic Marsh. So, the professor has lost his pencil, his trusty number 2 Ticonderoga pencil. And instead of going to the store to buy another one from Moneybags for like 2,500 gems or something, we're gonna trade eggs. And this is where my Spyro theory comes in, that the professor incited the Zephyr Breeze Harbor War because he's got like infinite eggs. If I lose this egg, he'll just be like, oh, I got another egg for you, Spyro. And I think the professor stole eggs from the Breeze Harbor birds and blamed it on the Zephyr dudes. And he started an entire war for a number 2 pencil.
That's probably true.
The professor is not a good guy. So we have to do this long trading mission. Okay, good. Thought I missed that balloon. While we do the trading mission, oh wow, I thought I'd make it up there. Backup time. We're gonna start Basil the Explorer's Thieves mission as well, so we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. But yeah, no, we're not in Cloud Temples yet, because Cloud Temples is probably actually, not sarcastically, the best level this game has to offer. So now that we're in Winter Tundra, we no longer get talismans. We're done with those. We get orbs for completing the levels now. So you'll see Snoozle there gave me an orb for getting to the end of the level instead of a talisman. So we have to at least get to the end of each level to get the orbs. Mystic Marsh can be a tricky level for 100% because there's a lot of these gems in these little alcoves like this, or hiding underwater. The lemurs are one of the most relentless enemies this game has. I don't know, Randy, what would you think? I think my top 3 most brutal enemies in this game would be, in no particular order, the Zapstick guys from Sunny Beach, the bushes in Fracture Hills, and these lemurs.
Yeah, probably. Like, I would definitely include the guys from, like, the Sunny Beach / Aquaria Towers guys. I think the birds in Zephyr.
Ooh, they're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad. And then probably the lemurs, yeah. I think the bushes aren't as bad, but they're pretty bad though. But I think
They
I
can
hate
just,
the
like,
birds. I hate
grab
the birds
you.
more.
I'm in a bad place right now. Do I even have? Yeah, I do. It's Sparks. So that's the other tough thing about not having Sparks, other than the Sparks radar, is you never know what level Sparks is at. Is he green? Is he blue? Am I good? Is he gone? So it's kind of tough to gauge sometimes if you are out of Sparks or not, or if you should be worried about taking a hit. I'm gonna sneak up on this guy. Look at that. Textbook sneak attack. And then I'll get hit by another lemur, and we will get the professor his pencil. And pray to God he wants this one. Sometimes you can give the professor his pencil, and he just forgets you gave it to him, and he's like, here's another egg for you. Oh, thank God. Okay. That's that. I just gotta get the last gems. grab the orb from Basil the Explorer. And this might be a successful Mystic Marsh. There's a red gem. Staring me in the face.
Uh-oh. It was the same one you missed yesterday too, actually.
I know. Sneaky little guy. Hey, if that's the only gem here, we're in business. Oh, they're both here. Oh, that's perfect. And that's everything in Mystic Marsh. We don't have to come back here. We're no longer partially completing levels. From here on out, we're taking every level to completion. So we're gonna kind of play the game in reverse now, though. We're gonna clear out Winter Tundra, then we're gonna go to Autumn Plains, and the run's basically we're gonna finish up in Summer Forest levels. Oh, Sparks. Sparks came to work today. Oh, Professor. Okay. Now it's time for Cloud Temples. Cloud Temples is... Yeah, Cloud Temples is my favorite level in Spyro 2. Randy, what would you say your favorite level in Spyro 2 is?
It's a tough one, because I barely play it. I don't know. It might be... I actually don't know. It's probably like Skelos.
Oh, that's a close second for me. So I have some nostalgia with Skelos, so like... I'll always remember the Pizza Hut demo disc I had that you could play Skelos Badlands.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to kill that guy because I need the credit for his kill, but I don't want to watch the cutscene because the cutscene will take away my Superfly. So I have to just kill that guy and get out of there. Because once you're out of range of the cutscene, you don't have to watch the guy open the door. Because I need the Superfly here so I can fly to the end. And I can get the talisman. Easy as that. We have freed their city, even though I killed like nobody.
Breeze, Zephyr is the only answer. Man, Zephyr has Cowlix. That's a tough sell for me.
Alright, we need to kill 21 enemies so I can unlock the Super Freeze power up. Because you need to freeze these guys. I just realized you really only need the freeze for these two. If you could find a way to do this without freeze, you would need to kill the enemies. Or no, I don't think the guy starts the orb challenge unless the freeze power-up's turned on anyways. So I'm gonna retract that statement. So you don't need the freeze power-up here because of what I did there is there are enemies in this level that spit rocks at you. And when they die, they drop that rock. I'm gonna pick up his rock and lob it at the bell. That way I don't actually have to go up there and do the whole freeze puzzle and get the orb much quicker. So the only thing left we have to do is pick up a few straggling gems and do everyone's favorite orb challenge, Agent Zero, the failed experiment by the professor. How do you think Agent 9 was made?
That's a tough question. Hopefully you don't get what happened to Nos that one day. Or what happened to Night Shift the other day. Like a while ago.
So far we've had no jank to speak of. We're hoping nobody has any jank this
In
entire
before
day.
Crystal Glacier Draclets.
Oh no. I do that in a specific way now to avoid it. Because I know the one that messes up, so I save him for last. Because sometimes the Draglets, when you kill one of them, my theory is that he spawns in the whirlwind, and he just goes into, when he respawns, goes into space, never comes back down. He just flies up infinitely.
What happened to
rest of
Agents 1 to 8?
That's the
Also,
professor.
yeah, what about... So, like, would Agent... Yeah, that's so weird. Also, Nost, Night Shift didn't get what you got, but when he started walking up the stairs, Agent Zero just kind of transcended and started floating and didn't walk up the stairs. Is about the
Very
best
good
way I
fight,
can
hero.
explain that.
Watch him as he goes. Finish up Autumn Plains and move on to some of the Autumn Plains levels. Crystal Glacier. One of the benefits to the way I cleared out Crystal Glacier on my first pass through here is, you'll see here in 1 second, I get to do this. I just get to fly over half the level because we got everything from that point on already. I left a few over here, and then we're gonna do the Draglets and hope one doesn't ascend to the stars.
Oh no. Did you see what happened?
No.
You hit the one that can...
Oh, did I? Oh, is that
Yeah.
the one I hit? Oh, I thought
I mean, maybe. It could have been
don't
another
know.
one.
It's very difficult to control. Like, even the normal Superfly in this part does not go this fast. Oh, I did. You're right. Where's the one I missed? Uh-oh. He did. He's going up. I just saw him. I'm gonna have
Damn.
to quit and reload. I
So-
just saw him start flying up.
Yeah. So
That's
the
okay.
Draclet started to fly up. You could maybe hit him if you did like the most insane height cap, but he gains height insanely fast compared to you for some reason. So we'll just
Alright,
quickly redo that.
At least I don't have to get the gems this time, so.
Yeah.
Alright, there's our first instance of jank. I jinxed myself. Oh, jeez! That dude was flying back and forth.
What the fuck?
Okay, we're fine. We're moving on now. So you have to do Draglets first because the only way back up from Draglets is that whirlwind, and that would take away your Superfly ability. So we'll just get that out of the way first, and we'll come down here, and we'll finish up with everyone's favorite snow leopard, George. We love George. His owner doesn't feed him and lost him even though he was within eyesight. Let's go, George. I'm gonna get George some food, and then I'm gonna backtrack and get this gem and make sure we got everything, which we did. So we're good. We just have to take it easy here, feed George, and we'll be done with Crystal Glacier. I have to play a waiting game here. You can't get that fish on the first hop for some reason. It's like hitbox doesn't exist yet.
Weird. Oh my god, you shot George with a fireball and he just walked
He's
right
okay.
through it.
He's invincible.
So like after you feed him fish, he follows you, which is why we can't really just like charge, I think. I
We
mean,
already
I guess you
own it.
could.
I'm always afraid he's gonna get like stuck on the wall because I don't trust him to have good pathing. George plush, I would pre-order that immediately. Or Corporal Glug plush. Authentic Corporal Glug colanders win.
That'd be good.
Do you like Bone Dance?
Who's ready for some bone dance?
Bone Dance time. Let's go. So we're gonna do the bone dance thing first. I'm gonna grab some gems while I'm doing it because it's a good way to clear out the level because the bones are very spread out. Normally you would need to kill a certain amount of enemies to get the invincibility to get up to like the lava portions, like right here. Oh, it's 16, I'm a liar. To get these guys with the lavas, but with the super fly, we can kind of just damage abuse through this one and grab that bone. And the other one, we're gonna do a really neat jump. We're gonna use the power-up gate, just not the way it's meant to be used. "100% is a category where, like, when everything goes right, it's really satisfying to watch this high-speed movement. When you start bonking on a lot of stuff and missing gems, it starts to look like an absolute train wreck. Get that gem. Let's get our next Keeper of the Bones. So we're gonna damage abuse to get these yellows. Because again, we're not gonna get the invincibility power up. It would just take too long to kill 16 enemies. But like I said, we're gonna use the gate. Like that. I did lose my sparks there. Kind of unfortunate. I didn't get the best launch off the gate. But yeah, we'll use the gate to just get a double jump. We'll land on it. So we can get up here and finish the level without the super invincibility power. I'm gonna try and get a cool little... my patented double cutscene trick. Failed it again. I failed it last night too. God dang it. What you can do is you can shoot the bottle and then grab the bone, so both of the cutscenes play at the same time, which is pretty cool.
I heard the bottle break.
Yeah, I just did it too late, so then if one triggers before they have to basically trigger at the same time. If one triggers before the other, then they play in sequence like that, which doesn't lose any time. That's how you do it normally, but it's just cool when they both play at the same time. All right, we're gonna wrap up these. Probably one of my least favorite mechanics in this game are these bottle with the gems in them. Not a huge fan of it.
The mystery bottle?
Yeah, where you have to like backtrack the whole level to get like 15 gems. Not a fan. Also not a fan because, well, there's a few things. In terms of speedrunning, number one, they're a cutscene, so they take away level storage when you hit a bottle. And two, if you die, it resets the entire bottle thing.
Yeah. Which
can be really frustrating if you're on the last one and then you die and you're like, oh, I gotta go get the first one, the second one, the third one. Yeah, the egg mini game is much easier once you have the fireball from Dragon Shores. I barely have to try here. Ooh, got a little bit of iframes there. And let's just like that, we'll be done with Skelos Badlands.
Skelos. As
boy,
lumpy. We were mentioning, or somebody was mentioning miscellaneous categories. Bone Dance % is a miscellaneous category if anyone's ever interested in running it. It's a very, very interesting run. You basically just do the any %. route up until Skelos, and then do some cool movements to get bones and such.
It's a very prestigious category. That is a huge benefit of having the Superfly. There's no death plane under Zephyr because you're not supposed to ever get outside of Zephyr. So we can just fly underneath of the level to get to Juliet immediately. Oh wow, Sparks grabbed that red. I love you, Sparks. I never said anything bad about you in my life.
I look like OG Sparks.
Gotta clean up a little bit here. Some of the stuff I couldn't get before. With the supercharge, it makes a lot of this much easier. I'm gonna turn around here really quickly. I wanna, oh, there's a bird.
Oh.
And then we'll get the last one. I had to shoot down that, oh nice. And get these last mystery bottles. Yeah, I had to shoot that bottle out of the sky so I can get the 10 gem in it. It's one of the last gems I need from this area. Zephyr is slowed down immensely by this mystery bottle quest. Whoops, whoops, and whoops.
Okay, I wasn't the only one that heard Steam notifications.
That was on me, my bad.
No, I just like was hearing them and I was like, is it my Steam? Like, you're just
Okay,
too popular.
This is the part where I turn off the foliage for it. There's a lot of greens down here in the grass. You can lose them. That purple is completely juked me out here. We'll go back for it. Where you at, purple? Nice. And that's it for Zephyr. It's time for Breeze Harbor. Time to have trouble with the trolley. Who here loves the trolley?
It is a fantastic vehicle.
Oh, hang on. Okay. I took the long way around to get some of those.
Oh.
I'm having difficulties.
Oh my god, you're just sliding off every ledge there.
Oh wow, that was a pure display of skill right there.
So normally you're supposed to break these like, I don't even know, they're like mines, I guess. Oh, nice bonk. With cannons, but they break with fireball, so
Fireballs
those are
way too
biddies
good.
ish.
So the reason I didn't want to spoil the surprise of being literally OP before, but the reason we did some of the stuff we did earlier, like we did cowlicks before, the cowlicks aren't affected by supercharge. So once we get the supercharge, we can't turn it off, and the cowlicks become much more annoying when you can't charge into them. You can only use fireball. So stuff like that. And you'll see there's a lot of other instances of there's just some objects in the run in the game which are unaffected by supercharge that you need to charge. So we either have to like head bash it or fireball it or do it before we get supercharged. Ooh, I hate that jump I just did right there. Sometimes you can jump over the gear and you have to do an extra lap to get it.
Sucks. I guess speaking to the like some things not being able to be like hit by supercharge and stuff, just as like a little another miscellaneous category is New Game Plus Fire 1 120%, where you have level storage because it'll carry over to every game when you have it. So you could go do Spire 3 or Spire 1 and you'd still have like you'd have Supercharge and Fly. But if you do 120, you have to unload it to go and kill certain enemies that aren't affected by Charge or Flame.
So there's a 2 gem here. I'm gonna get it now. I miss it every time I go through this level. Okay, I think we got it all this time. It's just, you can see moving this quickly, it can be really easy to just completely not see something pass by your screen. There is no reason I don't do this without Fireball other than preference.
You do the mines in 40 orb and you can have like set kind of angles and stuff, so.
I just have muscle memory from running a lot of 40 orb and doing it with the cannon that I just know how to do it really well that way. So why bother messing with the Fireball? Oh jeez, we're here.
Oh baby.
Do I get a get out of level free card?
So, like we were saying earlier, this level sucks. It's really slow. The orbs are bad. And yeah.
So we have to kill, I believe it's 20 enemies, because we need to unlock the power up. Not because we need the power up, but because that's the thing with a lot of the orb missions in this game, is they're tied. If they need a power up gate, they're tied to it. So Handle will not give me the Flag Keeper orb mission until I unlock this power up gate, even though I don't need the power up whatsoever. It's kind of the same way with Party Crashers in Magma Cone. I'm gonna have to kill enemies when I get to Magma Cone because they won't give me the Party Crashers orb if the Superfly gate is not activated. Scorch has some really inconvenient gems.
It does.
Oh, he's right behind me. There we go. So now that I've killed the enemies, Handle will actually give me the Flag Keeper quest, and I can start this. I want to start this as quick as I can because you can get a lot of... Will that hit him? Oh wow, that will. You can get a lot of gems and stuff while you're doing this. So if you're already traversing the level, you might as well just do the Flag Keeper while you're doing it. I got hit. This is probably my least favorite orb challenge in the game. I hate the Flag Keepers.
Do the safe strats.
We're good, we're good. I do the safe strats for 2 and 3. Because once you get to this part, this section, I don't want to lose it. So we're gonna shoot this Flag Keeper down, and then I'm gonna tell him to just sit tight for a second as we have a date with Hunter. He's trying to stuff 6 monkeys in this tiny barrel. Probably one of the professor's horrible science experiments. Oh, maybe this is where Agent 9 came from. He's gathering the monkeys for the experiments that Agent 0 was. We figured it out.
Hunter also walks really, really slow in this, which is, again, why this orb really sucks.
Oh, he's so slow. Also, yeah, so these monkeys throw these coconuts at you. If they hit you, you actually lose sparks from it. If they hit Hunter, it ends the mission.
Well, maybe agents 1 through 8 aren't necessarily monkeys.
Maybe the real
Maybe
agents
they
are
just-
friends we made along the way.
True. Handle and Gretel. Oh, maybe there's the 6 there. We got some theory crafting.
We got some spicy theories here.
So yeah, this is the safe way to do the Bob the Plague Keeper last bit, where you can just stand in the middle area and he'll just run back. Or he'll just follow you but not be able to hit you.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to do at least once because there's all those gems back there. I don't think I hit him. Oh, I did. Wow. So yeah, it's nice to go back there at least one time. It's safe and there's gems back there, so you kind of have to do it at least once. What's annoying about this mission is he still behind me? Of course, this is what's annoying about it. If you get too far ahead of him, he'll stop and he'll wait for you. And I don't really want him to do that. I want him to move on. But I don't want to be behind him because then I have to actually dodge the... Then I have to play the game as intended. That's no bueno.
Night Shift is nervous, don't be. You're gonna get a 49 40 orb. The first sub 50.
He's gonna find the way to get from Glimmer to Rip though. Without
Yep.
level storage.
Dupe orbs.
Can we find a Cowlick dupe?
That would actually be nuts. Duping orbs and duping Calyx.
Yeah, that's right. We're getting the sub 20.
That's true.
Am I good? I think I'm good. I always find it difficult in Fracture Hills, like, again, little straggling reds can just pass by you without even noticing it.
Yeah.
So you can see, especially here in Fracture, is like there's a lot of these chests that you would need to supercharge through with the supercharge power up, and just having supercharge makes it so much easier. We don't have to actually go through any sort of puzzles to get to them. So here's the Alchemist Orb. I'm sure you know this all too well. But if we kill all the Earth Shapers beforehand, he just gets to take a merry stroll, and we can go do whatever we want while he goes on his little pilgrimage here.
You're normally only supposed to break these Earth Shapers once you get the Head Bash power up. And normally you, like, obviously you get that in Winter Tundra and not in Autumn Plains. So you normally have to come back. And the reason why it's so bad is then you have to do the Alchemist mission again.
And a really nice kind of bonus to killing the Earth Shapers before the mission, you'll see in a second, is that there's a second mission where you have to help Hunter kill the Earth Shapers, but it's done. So he's just gonna give us both orbs back to back here. I really wish the Alchemist would have just left Hunter in that rock for the rest of his life. So we get our orb from the Alchemist, we say we're gonna help beat Earth Shapers, and they're already done. Hunter says we're a great team. I don't think he did anything here. I think I left a red gem. Yes. Is it just a red gem? It's a 5. Okay, let's say here is an instance of when you forget a gem. Again, I don't have sparks to point me to where that 5 gem is, so it's much easier for me to quit and reload because this will give me my super fly ability back, and I can just scan the level like a vulture. All right, keep our eyes open for a little purple shiny guy.
Was it in one of the tunnels, maybe?
It's right here. Not too
I
bad.
see.
It's under the bridge. I missed it. That would have been probably my second place to check. That would be the tunnels. Missing ones in
Clock.
places like that is tough.
Yeah. Clock also. Hunter is that, but he's also trying to sabotage you all the time.
Actively trying to get you to fail the project. Is that everything? Yeah, we're good. Now we get to, yet again, for like the 100th millionth time, Hunter doesn't want, even though we technically already saved the world, Hunter doesn't want us to save the world. He just wants to play a game.
Yeah, true. Technically, this is climbeless.
Where? Okay, here we go. So this game is kind of a joke now that we have Supercharge. I'm gonna try and just shut Hunter out here. Sometimes the game just throws him a bone. Nothing I can do about that, but we'll try and just shut him out here. Nice. There's 2 orbs here. That's the first one where you play to 10, and there's another one where you play to 15. Riveting stuff. Oh, okay. Played me like a fool.
He's hustling.
If I lose, okay, we're good. It's like if I lose game 2 with Supercharge, it's the last you'll ever see of me. I won't make that.
Bobby's saying he's not going to pull his weight in group tasks. Hopefully that's how he is during the relay.
Oh, okay. That one's his, this one's mine. I believe I heard somewhere insider information that Team Ripto is gonna win the relay later.
Yeah, but Team Nasty is gonna get a world record. Because we're gonna get... Green's just gonna get world record in NBS real quick.
Did I get all the gems down there? I don't remember. Well, if I forget gems at the end, that's the first place I'm gonna check.
Oh, also for people that were here and didn't see Green's splits that he posted or like aren't in the Spyro speedrunning Discord, Green was on PB pace for all but the last world of his run.
That's kind of insane, actually. That's really awesome. I will, for those of you that like the statistics, I will let you know that at no point in this run have I been on PB pace. I was behind from Glimmer. Oh, this is another vase. This is 100% Inspired 2, like I said before. Is this a very difficult category? The level storage movement combined with remembering where everything is can just be extremely daunting task. Did I kill 2 enemies? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you did.
The 2 giants. Yeah, he will not give you this mission unless 2 enemies are taken out, which is kind of unfortunate because I don't need it, but I need it now because I had to talk to him. But which one is that? Cheetah?
I think so. Yeah, this mini game is made pretty easy by having Fireball. Normally, you can't actually flame these guys. Normally, you're supposed to pick up like these mini rocks that are kind of floating in the air and shoot them. But when you have Fireball,
I did clear out that lower volcano. That's awesome.
Nice.
All right, we did it. One more level in Autumn Plains. Yeah, Nos is right. That right there, what I did, getting the gems or money bags, that's the closest in any Spyro Reignited 2 category. It's the closest money bags ever gets to making money on that elevator. Not saying he ever makes money on it, but it's the closest he ever gets. So yesterday, I learned how to almost soft lock my game here, so I will not be doing that again. I tried hitting the mystery bottle while I was doing the hippo freeing minigame, and just bad things happened all around. It was a really bad time. This is another one. There's a mystery bottle right behind this guy. You can hit them at the same time. I've broken the mission doing that. I've had it where like both cutscenes play and then you do the thieves and then nothing happens, and it's pretty sad. So I have to kill 18 enemies. I need the invincibility power up, which I actually need this time. I actually need a power up. Oh, the guy. It's okay. He's doing something. There we go.
normally you can let that guy he'll stand still until you get close, and you can just shoot him with a fireball or a green rock if you're doing 40 orb.
I got 2 ahead of myself. All right, we're doing it. Where's the thief?
Just don't shoot the
Get it?
mystery bottle.
I got it. All right. Now I have like okay, I was gonna say you get like overlapping numbers in the bottom right.
Pliz, the reason that we have unlimited supercharges, we did a glitch called level storage, where we stored a speedway, so we can have supercharge and flight throughout the rest of the game, which makes things easier. We did, in fact, cheat a little bit. Or we glitched, I guess.
Not only cheated the game, but we cheated ourselves.
That's true.
But yeah, so the game basically thinks that we're in Icy Speedway right now. And all speedway levels in this game grant you supercharge and super flight. That's why we have the timer in the upper right hand corner. I've beaten Icy Speedway, and when you beat a speedway, you get infinite time to play around in there because of the orb challenges. Well, not infinite time, you get 10 minutes. But
that's way more than enough time to finish any level.
Shorty the hippo's stuck up there. We're just gonna let her do her thing.
Nice.
But yeah, so I get 10 minutes in every level to do as I please with supercharge and super flight.
Hi, Dylan.
So if everything went correctly, this bottle should be the end of Autumn Plains. Let's go. Time for Glimmer. So here we are. We're finally in the first level of the game. We're gonna finally do the first level.
The reason why we can only supercharge or superfly sometimes is we have it until we talk to an NPC, we like finish we play like a cutscene or go in a whirlwind, and up until that point we can fly. So now, since we talked there, we will still have the supercharge but not superfly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's because of the orb challenges. Like when you talk to an orb challenge, dude, it like takes away your super flying ability. So like the same is true here. If we talk to an NPC, it's like, oh, he must be doing an orb challenge time. Not really sure why, but yeah, anytime you do any of those things Randy mentioned, you lose the ability to super fly until you either quit game or go to the next level.
Yeah.
See if I make this cool jump. Nice. Oh, okay, that's fine. The cool jump failed me. Alright, I'm gonna hope. Sometimes the kangaroo rat that gives you this lizard mission can just get stuck. Okay, he's moving, that's good.
He can get stuck if you like do it too quickly. If he like doesn't, if he reaches his point and you've already beaten it, he won't like advance sometimes.
Yeah, also if you kill, because like, so the kangaroo rat guy, he will go to a specific spot, then he will give you a rock which you're supposed to use to hit the lizard. If you kill the lizard before he gives you the rock, he doesn't know what to do and it soft locks. There's no way to complete Glimmer at that point. He just literally stops in his place and is like, well, I'm out of things to do. I had a job and he ruined it. Oh, okay, this is things fine. Another beautiful moment. Moneybags will never get the money for that bridge.
Very true.
Let's wrap it up here. Let's get this. Oh wow, he's kind of slow. Gotta wait for the rock. Now shoot the lizard. I've fallen for that trap one too many times of killing the lizard before the rock. We're missing a gem. What is it? It's a 5 gem. That's a big gem. Oh, I know where it is. It's one of the baskets there in the center area. You usually get them on your first pass through, and I missed one of them.
Ah.
Ready? There it is. So now we're gonna head back to Summer Forest. I still need to clear out the stuff in Summer Forest because I couldn't get some of the orbs here before because you need climb and swim, etc. Or we can super fly. That's also an option available to us. Hey Lilith, I think I'm doing a pretty good job at not forgetting too many gems.
At least we didn't miss one in Cloud Temples.
Catastrophe.
I
So we're gonna get this swim orb, and then there's a climb orb that I'm not gonna climb to get. Oh geez, supercharge. Out of control. I can just fly over the buildings and the top of them don't have collision. So we can just get up here to the climb orb just like that. And these should be the last gems in, once we get down here, these should be the last gems in Summer Forest. Perfect. So here we are, Aquaria. Aquaria, this to me is definitely one of the more difficult levels of 100%, mainly because swimming with the supercharge glitch gets really weird. If I end up dying in this level, I end up in a glitch state where I can no longer stop charging. I don't know, it just has to, I guess, do with having supercharged during a swim. It's like, I'm really not sure what to do. So the game just puts you in an infinite charge state, which is really awful to deal with. So I'm really gonna try and not die in this level. The gems here also can be very annoying because they're just all over the place. Look at this, just one gem here, a couple gems over here. They're just so scattered about. King Flippy, too lazy to look for his own children. We'll have to find them for him. That's fine, I guess. And yes, this time we will actually give the seahorses water, unlike last time where we left them to die. I missed one of those bottles. I think that was 2 gem too. I try and leave as many gems as I can lying around because you can get a lot of them while you're on the manta ray. There's just a few of them that are just way too out of the way to get while you're doing this. So we have to do these 2 manta ray quests for Hunter. He wants to train his pet manta ray for his illegal manta ray racing ring, and we'll get orbs for doing that. So guess I'm in. And after this, we will just clean up a few extra gems in the outside area here, and then we'll just progress to the level, freeing the, saving the seahorses, and that'll be it for Aquaria Towers. It sounds short, but that's actually a lot because that seahorse orb game is very long.
Plus, you still have to clear out all the like sharks and all those underwater gem bits.
I'm taking this hit. Everything's fine.
Because normally one of the things you're supposed to do is pay money bags. I think it's 100 gems for a submarine ride. But obviously because we have Fireball, we can actually shoot Fireball underwater and not deal with that.
Legit. Also, that number
Yeah.
3 gate is my favorite because it's the only tower without electric fences. They just put a crab in there. They're like, it's number 3 seahorse. He's not going anywhere. I really need a sheep. I think I have no sparks. Sheep are very few and far between in Aquaria Towers. So I think there's a full heal bottle up here I'm gonna grab. Yeah. Aquaria Towers is also a home. Not only is this a water level, but over here, there's water inside the water level. This is the deep water.
One thing that just kind of is interesting about this level is if you don't go and get the like if you don't press the first button and you have level storage, you can actually just fly to the end obviously and fill everything with water. But if you fly to like the second area you're supposed to go to, there's water there. It's just invisible. At least there's water in like parts of it.
I want that sheep. I just really don't want to die. And that's the thing with the towers, having the electric fences, sometimes it's faster to just take the hit from the electric fence instead of waiting. So you can see how like sparks management can be very difficult, especially with level storage, because you don't know what your sparks level is at. So knowing where sparks is at and knowing if you can take one of the hits of the electric fences is important. Kill some sharks. And oh wait, I almost forgot. Those 2 bottles only spawn in when you get really close to them. 400? Rut-row.
Ruh-roh.
Okay, that is a very long orb. Are you out of your mind?
What? How much are you missing?
1.
Oh no.
I think I know. I think it's in one of the tunnels. Because I didn't have sparks at one point during the tunnels. So I think I just left one behind. I could almost guarantee it. Because, yep, there it is. Aquaria can be weird because the render distance is actually very short for collectibles in Aquaria. So it's hard to just like turn around and look and be like, did I get everything? Because a lot of it despawns as soon as you go past it. Another riveting orb coming up. Turtle soup.
Oh baby.
Just get some gems.
2 orbs, turtle soup 1 and 2.
Oh, they thought it was so good. It's in here twice. They were proud of that. So another advantage to having the fireball early is we get to do, whoops, we get to start freeing these turtles from the boxes right from the get-go. I don't have to go unlock the power up and you know, bring the fireball, backtrack with the fireball to get the boxes at the beginning of the level. So we can just start rolling through here. We'll get every box except the very last one, and then we'll come back for it after we do turtle soup. We're gonna end on the boxes because wherever you finish it, it'll teleport us to the NPC, which would also take away our flight. So we don't want that yet. I'm gonna keep this flight till I get to turtle soup so I can fly all the way there. I hope I got all those. I went really fast through that section.
You might have missed one of the 2s.
Well, that's where we head back when we get the turtle boxes, so it's not the end of the world. Let's do this. Check out this orb. This is where the excitement happens. Now you may think I went and got some gems in that water. You may think like, oh, why don't you get those like while you're just sitting here? That's technically counted as like leaving the arena if you try and get all those gems, and Master Chef will cancel the orb challenge if you spend too long down there. So you just gotta get them before. Sometimes like, and you'll see maybe later today in the 40 orb runs that like runners will opt to dive down there once they've completed the orb challenge, and you can maybe like Sparks will home in, you can snag a 2 gem, but if you do it too early, he will cancel the orb challenge and tell you failed.
Or he'll soft lock.
Or he'll just, yeah, forget his entire intended purpose and never do anything again. That's also something that can happen when you do that. A lot of NPCs in Spyro 2, if you try and make things go fast, will just sometimes forget what their intended purpose in life is and just cease to exist. Is that it? No, it's not it. This orb challenge is so much longer than I give it credit for. You have to pay for this technically, because you have to go to Autumn Plains, buy the climb power up, and then backtrack so you can do this. What an incredible thing. Really saved the best for last. Nice. All right, let's wrap up our gems, save the turtles. Okay. Can't blow up that box yet because that will teleport me to the end NPC. Now I can do it. I think I got everything. I don't think I missed anything at the top, but we'll see. 5, 10, done.
I'm surprised you didn't miss one of the
I'm
2s
really
when you went
surprised.
really fast there. Just because Sparks is so unreliable.
This is a level I'm pretty prone to forgetting some stuff on. Herd Coast is another level, but there's just kind of stuff all over the place. But all right, so there's a pretty cool trick we get to do here, where I'm gonna do the, I don't know what it's really called, but you put the electric orbs in the towers, and the gear grinders try and stop you. Or here's where they spawn, and I'm gonna murder all the gear grinders before they have a chance to do anything, and then I can just do the whole quest on my own. Oh jeez, give me that orb.
When am I running 100 more?
That's the sound of a man who never wants to do it again.
That's an interesting question, I must say.
He's gonna have to consult his lawyer and get back to you on that. Alright, I did miss one. There's one guy living up here. There he goes. Yeah, strangely enough, like, even though when you do it that way, the gear grinders don't spawn, if you complete the entire quest and a gear grinder's still chilling up there in his spawning zone, the quest won't end. You have to take out all the gear grinders. Oh, camera. I'm losing a little bit of camera there. Alright, I have to get 2 diodes here to get to the next area. It's just easier that way. Because I don't have my super fly anymore because I talked to an NPC. So we will go ahead, double check. I see it. Back here, little red gem, you little rascal. And then we'll wrap up here. Just a few gems. There is a flight orb we skipped from the start. That'll be where we end Hurricos. Yeah, Hurricos has a lot of barricades and whatnot, mainly because there's a, okay, well, that's a thing.
Oh, nice.
That happened.
Classic. Charging off a ledge.
As I was
Or
saying.
like, not let, like, having the game get, well, now we have flight.
Yeah, this actually might be a net gain for me. But yeah, there's a lot of like barricades and stuff because there's a supercharged power up in this level. But since we have supercharge already, it makes blasting through a lot of this so much quicker. And we have all the gems, we have all the orbs. Let's go to Colossus. We're wrapping up. We've got just a couple levels left. So Colossus, Idle Springs, and Metropolis. And then the run will end at Canyon Speedway. A weird place to end the run, but it's the weird thing about 100% is, you know, most runs have a finite ending point, the final boss of the game. 100% just ends when you collected everything, which will be at Canyon Speedway. Whoops, that's fine.
Hockey skip when? Whenever we can figure out how to get back outside of the thing.
Oh, I've been close.
Because there's actually a possibility, because where like the goalies and the other player comes out of, you can actually get into that, and there's a puck spawner and you can spawn pucks, but the issue is right now you can't get back out. So you can't like shoot any pucks in or like get like a free goal or something.
One day I'm getting that puck spawner out of there. It's gonna be great.
Hopefully.
I'm getting a puck out of there, and we're gonna have a hockey skip.
Get 5 pucks out of there. Get 10 pucks out of there.
Just throw them, just like have infinite pucks. You can just spam shoot them in. That would be amazing.
Instead of fireball.
Just killing things with pucks. Hey, look what I can do. Brother Curtis is every speedrunner before they fail, a really cool trick.
At Bobby Bill. watch this. Or at night shift saying, I've never died in the Nasty Nork, like, final, like, platforms. Instantly dies in them.
Okay. Fireball makes getting these statues pretty nice because they've got some strange hitboxes, and the flame can be annoying, but the fireball just gets right in there. And it also has a huge explosion range. So you don't exactly have to hit the statue directly. I got all the gems though, this is the last orb. Idle Springs time. So we didn't do the Hula Girls orb, and we didn't do Bob's puzzles. So we have to do those two things while we wrap up gems. Idle Springs is like the one level where we're gonna have a really different strat. We're gonna take an intended death. And we will, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start Bob's puzzles. And by talking to Foreman Bob, that's going to take away our infinite flight, but we want that. That's good stuff. So if we were to quit and reload to get our infinite flight back, it would reset Bob's puzzle. So we're kind of in a conundrum. If we die, we get our free flight back, but it doesn't reset Bob's puzzle. So we're going to take an intended death coming up here. First, I have to do the fish game. Let's hope for good fish. I got like perfect fish yesterday in practice, so I'm guaranteed to get all the red fish now.
Yep. Something else that's important to note is the reason why we want to take this intentional death is that I think we've cleared out every single gem kind of in the middle of the level, so we don't want to go back there, and all the rest of the gems are kind of on the top area of the level. So if we didn't have our flight back, we'd have to you know, go through the whole level and get up there kind of the intended way, or if we just take the intentional death, we just fly up there.
No Nost, I haven't gotten that many, but that was a pretty high amount of red fish I just got there. All that minigame's missing is that crazy dude that laughs in the fish minigame in Jack and Daxter after you beat it. Iconic. Did I get everything down there? Yeah.
I have actually no idea what the chance to get like each fish is.
Yeah, I don't know the chance. I do know, like, yeah, last night I got one that was like, I only got one red. And like, yeah, because there's, so with the way the fish work, you can get, we're just gonna do this a little weird, it's okay. You can get the yellow and blue fish, which are the good ones, but there's also like RNG in how often like the fish pause between they come out of the water. So you ideally want no reds and the fish to just keep coming. So I had one last night where they just like, I got yellow, blue, it was amazing. I had a really good time. Okay, this is fine, I think. Yeah, I know how to recover this. I'm gonna recover this with a strat I tried to implement in 40 orb. I had a dream that you could like I think that's the wrong one. Yeah. That you could jump from that staircase to the other one. What am I doing? We go from this one to this one to this one. Look, it's Bob's Puzzles, everybody. So I wondered if you could jump from that staircase to the end of the level, because the guy's there ready to give you the talisman. You could skip like the animation of him knocking down the door. I am missing a gem, so I'm gonna reload to get my super fly back, and we're gonna find this gem.
Missing 6.
I'm missing 6. That's a lot.
Did you miss? I guess did you miss some in the middle areas? Maybe.
I hope not, but
I'm
that's
trying to think of where 6 would be.
yeah. Well, I found 3. I thought I got these. Oh wow, what did I do here? Okay, that's fine. I did some any percent 40 orb nonsense there. All
So
right.
back to Winter Tundra.
Yeah, we couldn't do Metropolis before because Metropolis has a really high orb count needed to unlock it. And we just didn't have it back then, so we're gonna do it now. Now that we've got every other orb in the game.
Except for Canyon Orb.
That gets to finish our run, we get the fireworks.
True.
Go. Oh, Spyro. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's new.
Send that one to the Discord. So one thing that's funny for this one has a power-up gate, but you don't actually need to kill any enemies because the pigs die, and I think you only actually need like maybe 2 enemies.
Like, yeah, I think it's like 1 or 2.
But the pigs just die, so you just have the power up no matter what. Also, this Ox is really easy. Why don't 40 orb runners just do that?
I don't know what I just did.
Oh, interesting.
I guess I'm doing it like normal.
Can you flame them from there?
No. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's okay. Send that to the Discord. House says you're missing 5.
Yeah, I'm missing 5 in Winter Tundra.
Oh, okay. Also, did you see that the bombs were doing more damage? You did hit him twice, I think, and it got to half health. Or maybe you hit him 3 times, I don't know.
I think it was catching up on all the hits I was doing beforehand. So we're at the end of the level. Here's that power up that Randy was talking about. We're gonna need this to shoot down the UFO saucers. Because unfortunately talking to her at the end here takes away our super fly, so we need the power up. So let's curl around. I'm gonna detour a little bit because we need to shoot down these balloons. We can get all the goodies kept within them. I tried to get the saucer and the balloon at the same time there at the end. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
One more sheep saucer orb, and we'll be at 63 of 64 orbs in the game. It's been a long journey. Many gems were passed up along the way. Oh, I got both those in the same shot.
Nice. I've only ever gotten that once.
So we need to utilize this power-up gate after the minigame that I can keep this super fly for a little bit longer. Because I need to get up here to get all these gems. And we'll just clean up the gems that I shot down from the balloons and we'll be all done with Metropolis. Oops. That. These weird Saturn planets have some gems on them, and this should be the end of Metropolis. Oh, I forgot these. I forgot something else. Oh, interesting.
Maybe up top.
Yeah, probably. Why am I? I see it. How did I miss Spark? I'm blaming Sparks for this one.
Oh.
That one's on Sparks. There might
I
have been a
guess-
rock I forgot to get here.
Well, you find the last 5. I'll explain what you have to do now. So obviously we have level storage. So what we're gonna do is actually we have to go and reload Icy Speedway and exit that to get rid of it. Because if we don't, you can just get you don't get soft locked, but sometimes Canyon Speedway just like won't let you finish. And I'm not sure what actually happens if you go into it when you have level storage, if it allows you to actually complete the level, but we have to deload our level storage for the last level.
Yep, so once we've deloaded it, I can warp the canyon. Because I went into canyon earlier, it's now in my guidebook, so I could just quick warp to it through the guidebook, and then we'll just complete the level.
I think
Get
you
the orb
did
count again.
miss one of the rams there.
Yeah, I
Getting
try
it.
and go for him early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you don't get him early, it's okay. You just get him on the run back.
I always forget the route for this one because I like barely see it.
Cool.
I'm of the school of thought that Dragon Shores should be part of 100%. Maybe.
Only if we have to do the Tunnel of Love.
I agree. Well, you would have to. You have to get a coin from
You're
them.
right. Good. I'm for it. Tunnel of Love. I'm gonna mash here. I actually never knew you could mash here until recently.
Are you pressing just circle or are you pressing circle and R2?
R2 to... I'm pressing R2 right now. Doesn't do anything.
What?
Yeah, my right trigger doesn't do anything. Can only use circle. Yeah.
I swear I use R2 for this, unless I'm just like not. I don't know. Yeah, this is the last orb. Little auto scroller.
We'll put fireworks to celebrate the run. Give me that blimp. There we go. And blimp, and blimp, and time.
GG.
Thank you very much. Ooh, what a ride that was. There it is, game total 100%. We did it. So yeah, that'll be it from me and Randy for Spyro 200%. Stay tuned for Dr. House is gonna do a run of Spyro through 117% after this. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really awesome.
Brilliant. Thank you, lads. It's been an absolute blast watching through this entire run. We've got anything else to finish up with before we pass over to a little bit of a break?
I don't.
I think we're good.
Just make sure to add the Tunnel of Love to 400% category.
Just the Tunnel of Love.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, lads. It's been an absolute blast. So yeah, as Zic has just said, next up we've got Dr. House doing Spyro 317%. We'll see you all in a very short moment.